Hi everyone, New England Gardening here on this Thursday, June 15th, 2023, and it's a nice, partly cloudy day, and it's currently 71 degrees, slight breeze. We had a nice thunderstorm go through yesterday evening, and it really poured out, and my bees got stuck out in the rain again. They were all out on the front, and there were still clumps of them during the rain on the front of the hive. But I've got these empty hives here, and the activity looks a little different. At first I thought they were scouts, but then I had a couple of frames of honey. So even on June 15th, with all the rain we've been having, we've been in a cycle of a lot of rain and cooler temperatures. I think they were robbing, but the activity seems to me to seem a little more frenzied. And I think this type of weather pattern sort of triggers bees into swarming. I think they've sort of been trapped. At some point they're going to have to leave if there's going to be a new queen hatching. But yeah, it seems to be some sort of frenzied activity going on. And I've even seen, it's kind of weird, I thought there was a waggle dance going on, like at the top entrance here. There's a good number of bees at that entrance. So I don't know if there's multiple hives robbing and they're all just trying to defend. I don't really see too much fighting going on here and there. I've seen two bees going at it. But yeah, it seems to be picking up. It's 1 o'clock or 12:45 by now. And I have another box, but I need it to store some frames of honey, which I need to extract. But there's also another nuke. I was thinking of putting another box on it, make it seem like a tree hollow, but I know there's a certain volume that they're supposed to be interested in. But yeah, maybe today's the day to take a look at the activity on the nuke, the other nuke. So here's the nuke I just have propped up on this picnic table, and there are no resources in this. There's just a couple of empty frames, so the activity is starting to pick up on this one. And I better not disturb it at this point, because I have another box I was thinking of putting on there, because it seems, I always try to gauge like how many bees are on. These are 5-frame nukes, and if they were to swarm, I think they would cover all the frames there's only like a couple of frames in there in one box, and they would expand to a second, and they have to build up and clean up the frames. So I don't know what I think they gauge mainly the volume, not necessarily what frames that are in there. Yeah. Haven't been using the garden hose too often. Shine the light out in the back yesterday during the rain, see how many bees were stuck outside. And I see 4 eyes shining back at me. And get the rabbits. So they're eating all the plants I put on the ground. Well, flowers, mostly. It's interesting that they haven't figured out how to hop. I think they're just, I don't know if it was the sparrows. I thought I was starting to lean toward it was the sparrows, but maybe it is the rabbit, but it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's almost malicious, where they just cut off the buds. Got these daisies here. I think they're from Johnny Seeds. They survived. I was going to pull them up because they're just collapsing. And I've got this red hot poker. I'm really interested in getting flower stalks on this year. But I haven't seen, mainly for hummingbirds, but I haven't seen any hummingbirds. And I brought the feeder in a while ago. Maybe I should put that out again. But the honeybees have no interest in these daisies, but what does go all over these is the native bees, I guess mason bees. So I guess I'll keep them in. Maybe I can tie them up. So I've got these, they're all flopped on top of these red hot pokers now. I don't know what these are. There's another plant that came up from Johnny's Seeds, but it's a perennial and really fragrant flowers on these, and the honeybees like this early in the spring. So they're just finishing now, so they're pretty long season. These here I bought 4 on eBay. This is sort of like a miniature daisy. I don't know if it's, well, it actually looks like echinacea leaves. A really nice red flower on it. And they were really small. I thought I was kind of disappointed last year, but they survived the -30, and they're coming up huge now. And they got another one underneath, so maybe, yeah, definitely need to tie this up. I mentioned this, the apricot tree. I don't know what is going on with this apricot tree. I think I'm going to have to move it. Maybe just put it in the barrel again. It did better in the barrel than in the ground. It does not like the soil here. And I just put some fencing on this Leatris because I noticed this one was been chewed, probably last night. Just getting ready to get my BB gun, but didn't take the time. I'm not too great of a shot with the thing, but yeah, even the bee balm here, the Monarda, something funky going on with this. It is just bizarre. It has some stunted infestation going on, or some fungus or bacterial or something. It has messed up all the tops of the buds. They're all this shriveled up thing going on. All of them. Even the one that took off because I removed the soil, native soil, and put in some nice bagged soil from Home Depot. Look at this. I don't even know if I'm going to get any flowers on that this year. The foxglove, sort of, I don't know, kind of a weird, nondescript, uninteresting color. Like I said, I was trying to focus on reds to get hummingbirds in here. I don't know if we have hummingbirds this year. Sort of distressing, I noticed, even with the daisies. I mean, they're just starting. Maybe it's their life cycle. There were no bees. I've seen the bumblebee here and there on the foxglove, but very little insect or bee activity. So I need to, I don't know if the rabbit did that or the wind knocked over the foxglove stalk there. Surprisingly, the butterfly bush came back. It was pretty much died to the ground. And even the Russian sage, I don't know if you recall, I did this in a video. There was like maybe one little stalk coming up from a side shoot. I thought it was like a separate plant I'd just go ahead and break off, but I cut it down, and then all of a sudden, you blink and you realize, wow, this thing came back completely. Even the purple echinacea, I don't know, something's really strange about that plant where it looks healthy and then it'll just, like it's in a drought condition or something like that, it'll just wilt overnight. And I'm pretty sure it's not like, mold or anything like that eating the roots. It's just and then it'll recover. So as you can see, I've got these mammoth sunflowers. I got to put a cage over each. I know it's like, well, why don't you fence off the whole yard, but it's really difficult to make sure every nook and cranny is secure. And I'm sure that overnight they would just completely chomp down the sunflowers. The rabbits would. So I put a little, trying to scramble to find any bit of fencing I can, cut it. As you can see there, I mean, over the whole yard, got all these weeds in the back here I need to take care of. That's what they found, is the liatris right there, out of everything. So, yeah, I don't know what is going on. I did some quick Googling searches and couldn't figure out anything. It's definitely not watering, and not certain. Even the healthy one here, yeah, no fruit, no buds this year. All of a sudden, first it was this branch, which I understood because it had damage, but then this healthy one here, and then I noticed this branch is vigorous, so, and it actually goes away from the center. So I'm just going to cut here so that sort of opens up. I was going to get those spreaders that the Stock Brothers sells, but it's not certain what the best time to prune apricot is, but maybe I'll just go ahead and cut that off anyways, since it's dying anyways. Look at that, even that little, it looks otherwise healthy, but for some reason, so these apricots, you know, they might be a no-go here in New England. Same difficulty with the growing cherries. We get too much rain during the spring, and then whatever cherries you do get, forget it, the birds and the chipmunks and the squirrels and the raccoons. I've actually seen possums in trees. I didn't think they climbed, but yeah, I don't know what this thing is. That looks like a good hummingbird plant. More mason bees. So you can see here that was empty yesterday. It's the Satsuma, and it's still pretty good temperatures for Oregon snow peas. I think I let the radishes go a couple of days. It's amazing. Let's see what we got here. Whoa, almost starting to look like beets. So I think it's time to pull these out. And they started to take off, but I don't see any pods on them yet. And yeah, I got a couple of blueberries. I got a couple of strawberries, but then I didn't think we were going to have chipmunk season because I didn't see any, but then they showed up. Got blueberries. Oh, they're getting plump. I think I planted these blueberries here thinking that they would recover but maybe I need to dig them up and get the healthy ones in the ground. Got this stump of a blueberry here, and I don't think it's, I don't know. I was hoping to see some buds on that. So I'll have these apples here on this miniature apple tree. Scarlet Sentinel. And like I said, I had some packs of hummingbird and seed mixes. These are all either bee attracting plants or beneficial plants or hummingbird plants. Got a couple of flats of concentrated plants and purple Cherokee tomatoes that I need to pot. And some, again, for hummingbirds, this is a sort of geranium. I forget the name. This is the healthiest one so far, or most mature. But it looks like at this rate, I think you can make them a house plant. It might be perennial. And some more mammoth sunflowers. I don't know where to put them. Oh, starting to get damage at the top here because they're root bound. So this is New England gardening. Hopefully I'll catch a swarm moving into one of these hives. Sort of hoping it's not this one, but whatever I can take. Maybe I can sell a nuke on Facebook. I'd have to get some of those plastic nuke boxes because can't afford to give away my boxes. And I guess you'd have to give them the frames, right? So this is New England Gardening. Thanks for watching. Okay, everyone, it's 3 o'clock. Oh, it's 3:30 in the afternoon. And usually this is when I see orientation flights. Actually, I don't know what they would be if, as nurse bees get older, they venture out and get their bearings and go back in, because every day it was always like clockwork. And this isn't that bad, so maybe I already lost a swarm. I don't know. It's a little bit breezy and it's not too bad. I think it was a little bit more humid or warmer yesterday. But I don't know if this is like a low-key swarm. In the back it looks like robbing behavior. You know, they're trying desperately, unless, I'm just trying to think of all these different scenarios. If they are my bees, or somebody else's bees, if there are two colonies vying for this, or two queens, there's guarding, and then if there's guarding, there's bees that can't get in, so they're desperately trying to get in through the back, trying to find a way in. I mean, there's pretty frenzied activity at that seam. So that looks like robbing. Is it drift? You know, is it... I'm wondering if there's even any honey left. I don't see wax cappings at the bottom. I know there was routing going on because I have a screen bottom board on this 10 frame, and it has one of those styrofoam inserts, and there were cappings, not that much, and honey drippings on it, and they're constantly trying to get in through the screen bottom board, but there's more activity on the 8 frame and on the nuke. So I don't think it's just drift where they're just excited to get out. And there's a lot of bees coming and going on the 8 frame. There's some activity on the nukes on the picnic table, but I don't think my impression is bees tend to swarm early on in the day as opposed to later on in the day. I don't know where I get that impression. It just seems like a lot of videos that I watch. Ouch. Well, actually I just got bit too. I got stung in the hand for no reason whatsoever except standing in the front. So, actually I think I got it out just in time. I saw the, oh, now it's starting to sting. So, not certain what's going on, and we'll see. I think that's the second sting I've received this year. Oh, it's still there on the hand there. I don't know if you can see that. I can't see anything in the sun. There we go. I don't know if you can see that. So there it is, venom sac. Is it moving? I don't see. I can see some glistening in the sun, but that's about it. So, I did end up doing a bunch of projects. I took the diseased limb. I don't know how to cut this because it was at a weird angle. I can always do this later, I guess, but this is good to have a branch going out from the center, and yeah, so I took that off. There was another one coming up for the center here, and I got a chipmunk going around. I love chipmunks. They just strip everything off, whether it's ripe or not, and come back until there's nothing left. They store it away. So if you don't get rid of the chipmunk, it's going to get rid of everything that you try to grow. This here, another example of Vermilion Air. I had brought that in for the winter because it's not hardy in zone 6B, and that's supposed to be attracting hummingbirds. Finally took my blue. I said, you know what, overthinking this, let me just get better off in the ground than in these black pots that get hot in the summertime. I've got all these blueberries. I got some that I ordered, I think, from Johnny's Seeds, and then some from a very popular or famous blueberry farm in New Jersey. Some type of heirloom variety. You know, they show these huge blueberries. I trimmed this blueberry. It's still green, so I was going to just pull it out and replace it with the blueberries that are plants that are productive, but I just ended up putting them in a row here. I was thinking of putting them in a raised bed, but I just put them in the ground. Less maintenance, and if they're in the ground, better off than in the pots, and I can always move them again if I want to. So I just need to protect them from the chipmunk. I've got a trap underneath that trash can lid with some bricks on it so other critters can't get in there. Like a fox. I've seen a fox. So there's plenty of critters to go around to feed the foxes. And I pulled out radishes. I'd left them in a little bit too long.
pretty good size. Some of them have chew marks on them from whatever the critters are that are in the soil. I potted some tomato plants because I got too many, don't know what to do with. Put a couple in the ground, 1, 2, 3, and I got some more pots there. Yeah, so that's it. Oh, and I did put a blueberry in here. I was going to put the vermilion in there. There were 3 African basils. Just put them in the ground. And this here is, what did I do with the label? Was it down here? Patriot? This might be, oh, it is down here. I gotta move that. This one here is Northland, okay? Good to know. So, put that on an upper limb. Yeah, so this is New England gardening. I hope these bees aren't an aggressive bee. I was standing in front of the hive, but I was good 8 feet away. I mean, I'm not standing in front of an occupied hive, as far as I know. So, leave it there. The bees are following me, even though I've been marked. There's the African basil, blue African basil. Not hardy, you have to only can propagate from cuttings, and you have to bring it in if you want it to survive for next season. I tied up some of the foxglove. I wonder if I had sprayed the bee balm with some fungicide or something that would have taken care of whatever. Tied up this daisy plant so it wasn't shading out these other, I think they're red echinacea, and also looking forward to some nice spikes on the red hot poker. So this is New England Gardening. Thanks for watching. Oh, and this fig tree cutting. I notice this bud is starting to finally open up after being dormant. And looks like it's going to make it. This one's starting to show some vigor. Don't know what either of these varieties are.